play the music during that time.
And there's the intro for today. Hey everybody, welcome to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode 84, and today is the 15th of June. Well, Chris already gave his thoughts, but we'll go back to him anyways. What's up, Chris?
I'm excellent. Great to be here.
Good deal. What's up, Hernan?
Hey Adam. Hey guys. What's up? It's really good to be here.
Good deal. Are you watching some football?
Yeah, they are. I'm on a bar right now. On a restaurant, you could say so. Okay.
A classy restaurant. I gotcha.
Yeah, classy restaurant. Okay.
Marco, how's the weather, man?
Weather's good.
Good deal.
Oh, I almost dropped an F-bomb. My foot's messed up, man.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I was trying to be a kid again, man, and got in a sparring session with someone way younger, way faster, and I was bobbing when I should have been weaving and got kicked in the leg.
Ouch.
So
yeah, don't share the picture with everyone else.
Yeah,
we want to keep people here.
MRI tomorrow.
Ouch. All right. Well, hoping for the best. Case obviously you guys listening don't know, but Marco showed us a picture of his ankle yesterday. It was not pretty. So we'll keep that to ourselves and go with the SEO and marketing. So Bradley, how's it going, man?
Hey guys, we're actually this time we're broadcasting live to Facebook. If you go to our Facebook page, the Semantic Mastery Facebook page, you should see that we're doing Hump Day Hangout simulcast live on Facebook as well as Google Hangouts on Air using OBS, which is open source software. It's 100% free. So this is freaking fabulous. I know there's software programs that have just been recently released, as well as new ones coming out for Facebook Live, but OBS is free, and you can simulcast the Hangouts on Air and Facebook Live at the same time, which I think is pretty cool. So we're testing that out. Any of you that want to check it out on Facebook, let us know. Just comment, like, share, whatever. This is our real first. I mean, we attempted it last week, but it was a very poor attempt. This is a much better one. So.
Good deal. Yeah, I think it's going to work out good, and it may be a better option for mobile. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see how people use it. So, not a whole lot of announcements today, everybody. We just wanted to remind you we got the awesome contest coming up June 20th to the 27th. So we're going to be giving away a bunch of memberships as well as the 100-day Freedom Journals. All told, I think it's, don't quote me exactly, but it's about $7,000 to $8,000 worth of prizes. So we'll be rolling that out with some information here shortly. You'll be getting emails, and we'll talk about it, obviously, next week at Hump Day Hangout once we're doing it. Other than that, I think that's all I have. You guys got anything?
Nope, not me. I know we got a ton of questions. So.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Wait a minute. We're going to stick with probably just the Google screen for now. Just remind me, somebody, if I have to switch to Firefox, that people won't be seeing it.
Sure.
Is that fair? I'll take that as a yes. All right, Mark O'Connell, he says, hey guys, quick thing to say before I ask my question. There's an option in Blogger in the settings, then share, comment, and post. It's the section option in settings, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you can choose an option to share your Blogger posts to your Google Plus profile, so it becomes a tier 2, and it takes less than 10 seconds. Sorry if you mentioned this before somewhere, I just can't remember hearing it. Stumbled on it by accident. Yeah, you can do that. Just remember that if you're going to do that, your Google Plus profile, if you have a recipe where IFTTT, RSS or video YouTube to G Plus via buffer, right? That's how we post to Google Plus, is through the buffer. So it's like a 1-2. If you also select that option in Blogger, you're going to be posting to your Google Plus account with the same post twice, because it's going to come from your original content source. Then it's going to also syndicate. When it syndicates to Blogger, it's also going to post to Google Plus from Blogger. So you'll end up with 2 posts on Google Plus for each post.
Bradley, real quick, I think we've got a mix-up with the browsers. We're not seeing your screen in the Hangouts, but we are on Facebook.
Okay, let me try it again. Now what? Can you guys see it or no?
Give it a sec. I'm not seeing anything yet.
All right, let's try full screen and see if that works. We'll just go
there we go. Okay, now we're seeing your face again.
Can you guys see full screen now?
Yes, now full screen.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's going to look kind of funny, one way or the other. We're going to have to keep playing with this until we dial it in for Facebook. If we have to, we'll just worry. Facebook should be coming through, but you guys are probably seeing it different. It's probably hard to see on your end, right?
We're seeing. I can see your full screen on Hangouts, and it is now. You're on Facebook. It's now snapped to your window.
Right. So
Yep.
okay. Well, anyways, you guys can see, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
Got your full screen on Hangouts and window on Facebook.
All right. All right. So back to the question. Yeah. So just remember that. So just if you want to set it up as a second tier syndication, that's fine. Just I would disable the IFTTT recipe then, if that's the case, so that you're not double posting. Okay. I can't juice them up right now and can't afford crowd search, but I am building networks like a squirrel on crack. Okay. I'm going to ask.
+1.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask how many networks it takes to rank, don't worry, but one of my channels I've just built the 5th second tier network around it. My videos are very, very close to page 1, but many of the network sites haven't shared much content yet, so do I just keep building more tier 2 networks or focus now on uploading videos so they're firing often and start a new channel? Thanks. I would focus on more content now. If you've got 5 tier 2 networks connected to your channel, you've got a lot of power there. It's going to be more effective now if you just continue to publish content, top related content that's similarly themed content. Use playlists if they're not so tightly themed. You can use playlists to theme your channel that way to keep your essentially silos on your channel. But yeah, I would absolutely start adding more content, because the more content you add, especially related content, the more authority and basically power your channel's going to get, and all of your networks as well. Okay, so it's going to be the activity that's going to help it, as well as just having more related content on it. So absolutely, I would stop building and do more content production now. Okay. Bo says, with video marketing and IFTTT syndication, I am finding a lot of my videos are ranking for terms. I have no issues with. Okay. What I would like to see is just one main video ranked for a term instead of all the LSI terms videos and personas all ranking for the same term on the same page. Okay. That's not really a question. It's more like a statement. But I guess if we're gonna try to make a question out of the statement, what I would suggest doing is using the YouTube silo method, is taking the LSI keywords that you have ranked, the other videos, and putting a link to the more general term, right? And making sure that everything's within a playlist. So you link to the playlist itself, and then you also link to the video that you're trying to rank, because that would essentially be like your general term is like the top of a silo, right? So it's like your most broadest term that you want to rank for. So all of your LSI keywords, the videos that you create for that, put a link to that top level video, the top of the silo, right? As well as to your playlist. Always link to your playlist too. But my point is, if you link to the top of the silo, then now what you're doing is you're reinforcing the keyword, the relevancy through all the long tail keywords up to that top level term. And especially if each one of those subsequent videos that you syndicate that are within that silo, that are longer tail keywords, are linking to, and they're all linking to that top level video, the broadest of terms. All those videos are also syndicating out across your networks, right? So you're getting the backlinks and the social signals and the bookmarks and everything to those links and the embeds to those YouTube videos with the LSI terms, of which are linking to your top level keyword, right? Your top level video. So just continue to push out more and more LSI stuff. Make sure you're using playlists. Go follow this YouTube silo training, and you should see those move.
If I can just jump in, it might look spammy, but he's also crowding out the competition, and he's also simulating a video going viral. And if you're an end user, it might not seem like it's so spammy to you. It might just seem like the video is really popular.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how it's coming through on Facebook as far as audio. I don't know if anybody can hear you guys' question when you all talk, or just me. That's interesting. We'll have to check on that when we're done. Bo says, when creating a Google Plus profile, in terms of creating this for a business with a location, are we better to create business location plus associated page, then post to the page, or post to the location? Both have options of posting content. Which would be better? Well, I suggest if you're only going to do one, that you post to your local page if you're trying to rank in maps, because that's going to give you an edge over most likely all of the other competitors, because most people do not post content to their local Google Plus page. Their Google My Business page is what I'm saying. Most people don't. So if you do, that's going to give you an edge. Not only that, but remember, if you're blogging on your money site, you're going to be posting, keyword, posts that are optimized for keywords within your particular niche or your industry, which are going to syndicate to your Google Plus local page, which are going to reinforce the overall theme of that page. It's the activity, once again, plus the keyword reinforcement, the overall reinforcing of the theme itself, which is going to help that to rank. And again, 90% of your competitors probably aren't doing that, right? But you can post to both, Bo. You just have to create another IFTTT account so that you can set up another recipe so that it's going to be the same recipe, RSS2 G Plus via buffer, and you can do that for let's say your branded tier 1 network. You have one set up going to your local page. In other words, you're posting your syndicated content to your Google My Business page, but you also have a brand page, right? You can build a brand page as well, guys. It's okay to do both. The brand page gives you some slightly different options than a local page, right? So you can also post to the brand page too. It just means you have to have a second IFTTT account. You set up another RSS2 G Plus via buffer, so you'll need another buffer account as well, and then you just connect that brand page to that secondary account, if that makes sense. Okay? So you can post to both, though. There's no problem with that. Happy Video Man. Hey, everybody. Nate here. +1. Beyond Measure says, wanting to get some silo structure input from the group. I would try to be as clear as can be. If trying to create a site that is covering a large area, so would silo the site based on location. Domain.com, location, city for the city silos. Okay, let's say that I'm also trying to rank for a couple services in each city. So domain service, subservice. My question is, how would you combine the two silo scenarios? Well, this is something that is a very in-depth question that I would have to start drawing out diagrams for. You guys don't want me breaking out the Snagit. Not for a Hump Day Hangout. We don't have time for that. If you're in the masterclass, this would be a great question to post in the masterclass, because we can get into more in-depth questions like that. This is not something that we can really typically cover in a Hump Day Hangouts, because that's not what this venue is for. Masterclass, we can answer questions like this, and certainly in Mastermind. But in Masterclass, this would be a good question. So if you are there, we have Masterclass today, immediately following Hump Day Hangouts. You can repost your question over there, or just mention in the Masterclass webinar that you're attending, and I'll jump back over here and read your question off of this page. Okay? As far as taking you guys, should we take a quick stab at it without drawing diagrams and all that, or should we just move on?
Well, I think that silo can become really cumbersome without a diagram. You know what I mean? Because we can explain about it, but yeah. The best way that I understand silos is by diagram. So probably we should move on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, because silo, when you're dealing with complex silo structure like this, it can get complex very quick. I mean, that's, it can get complicated very quick, and we'll just end up confusing everybody on here, and that's really not the point. So I'm going to have to draw that out. So check it out on the masterclass. Otherwise, come join us in the masterclass. I'll be happy to answer questions like that over there. Jenny says, wondering if you can share some ways that you speed up your WordPress site. Some plugins, maybe. What are you doing to leverage browser caching, optimize images, eliminate render blocking, blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for all the knowledge you share with the community. I'll +1 that. Well, to be honest with you, all I do is I'm using a plugin now called Rapid Ranker. It's the reason I like that one. I've done a lot of things in the past to speed up. I've got a couple training videos I can go find here in just a moment, and I'll paste them on the page on how to use W3 Total Cache and then Amazon CloudFront to speed up and set up a CDN through Amazon CloudFront, and that works really, really well. It's a bit of a process though to set all that up. It's kind of geeky to set it up. I mean, I've got full instructions, step-by-step instructions on how to do it. So, although it's probably 2 or 3 years old now, so there might have been some slight changes in the steps. And don't anybody ask me to update the training, because I'm not going to. Not for that. It wasn't paid training. It's just free stuff on my YouTube channel. However, I found a plugin called Rapid Ranker that it's a premium plugin, but it works well, and it integrates with Max CDN. And Max CDN is a lot simpler to set up than Amazon CloudFront is, and because of that, it's really easy to set up. You can get Rapid Ranker and go set up an account with Max CDN, and I think it's like $9 a month or something like that for the CDN for like the most basic level. But it's it only takes about 15 or 20 minutes to set everything up, and that will considerably increase your speed on your site. But there's settings inside of Rapid Ranker that will leverage browser caching, optimize images. There's lazy load images, those kind of things that will all speed it up. Okay, so let me go check my YouTube account real quick, and I'll see if I can grab those videos for you. Just 1 second, I'll find it. Let's see, Amazon site speed. Should be 2 videos. Yep, right here they are. All right, so here's 5 steps for improving page speed. I'll copy this first and post it on the event page. And then I'll grab the other one. This is the second video. You got to watch them in order, because the first one is just for setting up W3 Total Cache and optimizing it that way without using a CDN. The second video is for setting up a CDN after W3 Total Cache has been set up. Okay, this one's a popular video. Look at that, 14,000 views. Those are all organic views. I get quite people comment on that a lot too. So, all right.
You should add some AdSense to this. Maybe you can earn a buck or two.
I should make a couple bucks on it, or a few dimes, because that's all it would be. It's not very many views for AdSense. Mike Claggett, what's up, Mike? He says, I asked this in the IFTTTV2 Facebook group. I thought more of you guys might join in on an answer here. I've purchased some good Web 2.0 properties with metrics, expired accounts with high domain authority and very high page authority. I have 25. Should I set up IFTTT syndication from my money site blog, which already has a Tier 1 branded blog network and a Tier 1 persona blog network? Or should I use these new Web 2 properties as Tier 2 linking to Tier 1 persona network, or linking to the Tier 1 branded network? Well, I'm not understanding Tier 1 persona network. I'm hoping that's for a YouTube channel and not for your website, because you shouldn't have a persona network syndicating website content. But I'm just going to assume that that is for a YouTube channel. That's up to you, Mike, what you want to do with those. I think that those could be really good for Tier 2s, because they'll power up your Tier 1s. Since you already have branded accounts for your, blog syndication, your money site, which is fine. That's what you want. I'd rather have a branded account than just a high PA Tumblr, some random high page authority Tumblr account. So I would use them as Tier 2s, or I would use them as Tier 1s on YouTube syndication networks. Right? Plus, you could also think about this. If you have some really high-powered Tumblr accounts, guys, why not create a separate syndication network being triggered by Tumblr RSS? It's the same recipes. You don't change the recipes. You just use the Tumblr RSS feed as the trigger. So you could set up, for example, you could take one of these. You've got 25 of them. Imagine having a separate IFTTT ring around each one of those Tumblrs, right? So that every time you post to one of those Tumblrs, it's also building backlinks to an already aged and high authority Tumblr account. It'll keep it powerful. Does that make sense? So you could use that as a second tier, and even set up syndication networks around those, which would give you third tier links. It'd be very, very powerful.
Yep. What I've been seeing really good results with is to manually posting on these Web 2.0 to power up Tier 1 links, as you were saying. The good thing about IFTTT, I think, that you can pretty much set and forget your entire Tier 1 link unless you land like a blog post opportunity, a guest post opportunity, or those kind of things, or you're commenting or on relevant blog posts, those opportunities that could actually bring you traffic. Otherwise, it's pretty much, your entire tier one is on autopilot. So what I would use this is, as you were correctly saying, Bradley, to power up your tier one, your branded tier one.
Right.
You can do it by either doing a tier two with tumblers, those kind of things, or you can actually, go in there and treat them as a Web 2.0 quote-unquote PBN, or private link network in that case. It will be cheaper than an actual PBN, but it will yield a ton of results.
Yep. I totally agree. So that's what I would do, Mike. But yeah, I mean, seriously, something like that, when you already have powerful Tumblr accounts, like those are good candidates for building networks around those Tumblrs, so that every time you post, you're continuing to just funnel more and more power to those already powerful Tumblrs. You'll see that the backlinks from those are very, very powerful. Cody, hey Cody, I got to meet Cody in person in Marketing Mayhem. He says, hey guys, for IFTTT YouTube syndication, my partner and I were wanting to do prospecting videos and client videos. My question is, for best practice, should they be on separate networks, or can a channel be safely mixed? Looks like the question was truncated. That's interesting. Yeah, it looks like it was truncated. I think just from your question, Cody, typically what I would do is probably have, let's see, my partner and I wanting to do prospecting videos and client videos. So I'm not sure what you mean by prospecting videos, unless you mean just ranking videos that direct somebody that watches it to call you for video SEO services, or for lead gen services, or SEO, whatever. If that's what you mean, what I would do, I'd probably have a separate video or a separate network that I would use specifically for ranking client videos, like what I currently do that, right? I have my own syndication networks, my own YouTube channels that are tied to syndication networks, that when clients want me to rank their videos, that's fine, I rank their videos, but I do it on my channel through my networks. They can have it on their channel too, that's fine, but I'm not ranking their video on their channel. I'm ranking their video on my channel through my networks, because that keeps me in control, number one. Number two, because I have aged networks that have been powered up and themed well, so they're incredibly powerful. If I try to rank their website, or excuse me, their video on their channel, they don't have that benefit, and I'd have to build networks for them that would be immature, young networks, right, that wouldn't have any, they wouldn't be nearly as powerful as mine, right? So what I like to do is keep them separate. As far as prospecting videos, I would probably push out across my own branded channel. So, for example, if I was prospecting for Semantic Mastery, I would want to push out prospecting videos on the Semantic Mastery channel, because there's a branding thing there. Like, I want people to know who it is. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to know that Semantic Mastery that's reaching out, so in case they Google the name or whatever, then they can see all the information about us and our company and that sort of thing. But I would want to do the client videos and or lead gen videos on separate networks, right? That's what I would do. Best practices, you can play with it, but I like to keep those things separate. I don't want client videos on my branded channel, my own channel. I'd rather have those separate, channels that were set up specifically and themed well for that type of content. A lot of the times, you guys know, I like to have my networks and my channel themed after a particular industry, but you can also theme it around a location if you want, like a city, for example. All right, Enrique says, curious, I had an IFTTT builder build a second tier ring. Now I know Bradley talks about having to do trigger from tier 1 blog plus additional RSS sources to every single tier 2 property, resulting in 15-ish triggers per source per ring. 15 triggers per source per ring. Yeah, okay. 15 triggers, just IFTTT recipes per source. You're right. My builder, though, set this ring up to use the tier 2 WordPress to trigger everything on tier 2. This obviously makes it easy for him, but it is wrong. Yeah, because that's going to create a loop, right? That should create an infinite posting loop, and I've had that happen before. It's happened to me several times. Because if you're having the tier 2, right? Okay, guys, picture this. You publish content from either your YouTube channel or your money site. In this case, he's talking about blog syndication. So let's say that he's syndicating content from your main blog. You publish a post to your main blog. It auto syndicates to tier 1, and Tier 1 is going to auto-syndicate to Tier 2. Well, if you're using the Tier 2 property RSS feed, one of them, any of them, it doesn't matter which one, but you're saying WordPress, to then trigger Tier 2 again, what's going to happen is it's going to post, and then it's going to publish its own post again and again and again and again. And I've had that happen, guys, where I've had like one post posted, 4,700 times. And some accounts get terminated. Sometimes, believe it or not, I've had some accounts like that actually were still open when I discovered it, and I was able to go in and mass delete all the duplicate posts. But that's what would happen. So I would say, you certainly don't want to do that. Look, it's a pain in the ass setting up all these triggers. If you got a VA, it's not a pain in the ass at all, though, right? It's simple, because you just tell the VA to do it. So, I don't recommend that you're doing it yourself, but if you've got a VA to do it, you just tell them to do it. And whether, I know they might want to take a shortcut, but that's unacceptable. Find another VA if they're going to take shortcuts without you giving them permission to do so. Right? Anybody else want to comment on that?
No, I agree with you, Bradley. I've seen for example, some syndication networks that go out from Twitter. So you will use not your blog, but Twitter to actually trigger the syndication network. But this is on purpose. Otherwise, it will create an issue, as you were saying. So everything must come out from the way we do it, and we recommend is that everything must come out from your blog, not from a Tier 2 property, from your blog itself, because that's validating the entity, as Marco would say.
Yeah. And guys, the other thing is a lot of people will try to take a shortcut and I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm going to say it again. I don't recommend using two-tier networks for your money site, for blog syndication. You can do it as long as you follow the guidelines that we set forth, which we tell you guys if you're going to do it, the best way to do it is to minimize any potential footprint issues. You don't eliminate it, you just minimize it, is to add in those second-tier content triggers, related content triggers. But I've also seen people try to take the shortcut of splicing the feeds together. Let's say they find 4 other related content sources that they like, and they go grab the RSS feeds, and then they go splice them using a feed splicer, so that they only have to set up one additional set of recipes in IFTTT, the Tier 2 IFTTT account, right? Because for every content source, I tell you guys you should set up a separate trigger recipe. So if you have 4, and there's typically about 15 recipes in IFTTT for a standard network, but when you start adding in related content feeds, for every feed you're going to have to set up another 15 recipes. So if you had a total of 5, your originals content source plus 4 related content sources, now you're looking at 5 times 15, what is that, 75 recipes. That's a lot. It's a pain in the ass to set it up. I get that. So some people will go splice all the related content feeds together, 4 of them, down to one feed, so that they only have to create 1 more set of recipes. But once again, that can be wrong. It will work if all 4 of your content sources have attribution links hard-coded into their RSS feed. But if they don't, you have to code that in manually, and you can't do it if you've got a spliced feed, because you'll be citing or attributing one particular source in every single post that may not be, even when the content is from other sources. Does that make sense? Because you have to create the attribution link in the IFTTT recipe as part of the ingredients. So that's why I'm saying you don't want to take shortcuts, guys. That's why we tell you to do it the way that we've told you how to do it, because we've tested all of this. And if you're going to use two-tier networks for RSS or blog syndication, then you need to set them up the way that we tell you to, or just don't use Tier 2 networks for blog syndication. It's that simple. All right? Okay, second, far shorter question. I've noticed that in the Maps 3-packs, there tend to be a lot of businesses that do not include their address, phone number only. Is this something that anyone can do? Yes, Enrique, but you have to. It's supposed to be based upon the guidelines that Google My Business gives you. For if you have a service-based business where the business visits the customer at the customer's location, then you can do that. You can hide the address. If you have a point of sale, though, where customers come to you and your location, then you have to have the Google guidelines are you're supposed to have the address visible, which only makes sense because you want people to be able to find you. But if you're a service-based business, you can opt to hide your address or to just not show your address, which in reality, if you're a service-based business and customers do not come to you, you should have that anyways. You should have it option checked, which will allow you to not show your address in Maps. Okay, and that's just a setting in Google My Business. In fact, it's in the business address settings. When you go to the Google My Business dashboard, click on your page, click on Edit, and then when you know, edit details or whatever, and then it's in the business address section where you can also select the areas that you serve by either by radius or by zip code. Here's a quick tip for you guys. If you're doing service-based businesses, go look up zip codes, zip code maps, and figure out what zip codes you actually service and enter in each zip code one by one right there on that Google My Business page. And editing the business address details. You want to put in every single zip code that you service one by one and add them. That's a far more effective way than just selecting radius. And then you can uncheck at the bottom of that area, there's a box that, or a little option that will say, do you provide services to customers at their location or something like that, and if you check it, it will hide your address. It just won't show your address. Okay? John says, hey Bradley, how do you index the Lead Gadget sites? Do you still add them to Google Search Console? No, not anymore, John, because of the sheer volume of sites that we're producing. We don't do that at all anymore. I have a few, you know, hand-picked sites that I mess with that I still will submit to Search Console, but as far as our sites that we're building in mass now, no. We don't submit them to Search Console. It's just not feasible with the amount of the number of sites that we're building. So what we've been doing is just using Express Indexer. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. This guy here, this is not the best service in the world. I mean, the dude just runs it cool. But we're like right now we're at 10 million links per month is our package that we're able to submit 10 million links per month, and we still run out every single by about week 3 we've run out. So they've got different packages. If you don't see here, you can get a custom package, which is what we had to do. You just got to contact the guy, and he'll contact you on. You know, you guys will get connected on Skype. This is what I've been doing. Is using this, and it's cool because it gives you this little desktop app that it's like the most simple piece of software you ever see in your life, but it's just you download it, and it's called a desktop submitter, and you open it up and you put an API key in, which it will auto save, and then you go select a text document, a notepad file, you know, text file that has all of the links that you want to submit. So you just click the little browse window or button, it'll, you know, navigate to your text file where all your links are that you want to submit, and then you click submit or open or whatever, and then the submit button, and it will automatically submit to the service. That's what we're doing. My VAs do that. So essentially what they'll do is with the ATM sites, once the sites are built, they'll go open up all the different site maps, because you know we're using Better WordPress sitemaps to split it up. They open up all the different sitemaps, extract the URLs from the sitemaps, put them in a text file, then save the text file, then go open up the Express Indexer submitter, navigate to that file, open it, click submit. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's done. And that's what we're doing. That's, you know, it's not the best thing in the world to do, and also depending on how many sites you're building, if you're going to be indexing more than like 5 or 10 sites at a time, you need to have more than one server. And you need to spread your builds out across multiple servers. That's the only way we did it. We were having issues where our servers would, like all of our sites would become absolutely non-responsive. They wouldn't even load. And it's because the bots were crushing our server. So we had to end up, we've got 3 servers now, and we split the load whenever we're building across the servers. So like today they'll build server 1, tomorrow server 2, Wednesday server 3, Thursday back to server 1. You see what I'm saying? That way we're splitting the load. Good question, though, John. By the way, you know we have I host a webinar on Thursday mornings over there at Lead Gadget. If you have any questions about that, that would probably be the better venue. I think some of you could have benefited from that, because I know a lot of you guys are using mass page generators now of some sort, SERPshaker, ATM. There's a couple others too. So, but that's the process I use, guys. It seems to work pretty good. It's not the best strategy in the world, but when you're submitting that many links per month, it's kind of, you're limited into what you can do. Wayne says, just a success story, Bradley. I'm going to +1 this. I read this earlier, Wayne. I think this is awesome. He says, this week in one of my clients' niches, I ranked the newest site number 12 and have 2 of the 3 snack packs, number 1 and number 2. That's awesome. Positions using one of each of his company names. It has the same address but different phone numbers. I am most excited since I have really just started the RYS training in Twitter SEO and IFTTT. We are now going through the hiring process using the outsourcing program that you guys are putting out soon. That is awesome, Wayne. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, our outsource, we're launching a product June 28th under Mastery PR, which is another company that we're forming.
Woo!
Yeah, woohoo! It's called Outsource Kingpin. That's coming out on the 28th. It's our outsourcing training program. So, but Wayne, that's awesome. You guys see that? He got 2 this week. One of my client sites, a newish site, from number 12 to number 1 and number 2 in the snack pack. That's awesome. Or number 12 organic, number 1 and number 2 in the snack pack, using just RYS, Twitter SEO, and IFTTT. That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Wayne. Brian says, I have a client with Google Plus and business page with one Gmail address. Then I had my outsourcer start building the IFTTT network sites with a different Gmail address by mistake. Should we use the same Gmail address for all the network sites as the Google Plus account, or make the new Gmail as a manager, or what? Thanks. Brian, it doesn't matter. You know, if you've already started doing it, just if you create all the other accounts with a different Google account, that's fine. It really doesn't matter. What I would do is just make that other Google account as a page manager, so that when there's a relationship there. That's all I would do. But it's not. I mean, it's not a big deal. Don't sweat it. You know, I mean, for example, when people come to us for building networks that are branded networks for like clients and stuff, we still create a persona account to create all their accounts, because we don't even want their email address. We don't want their Gmail account details. We won't even take it. Like if somebody sends them to us, we automatically reject the order, because we don't want that. It's too much liability on our part. So we just create a persona account, and then we deliver the accounts, and the customer can, who purchased the network, can add themselves as a page manager, and basically tie their accounts together that way. But they have a persona login, which I think is better anyways, because it keeps everything separate. That's my opinion. Brian Costello, he says, I own an animal removal pest control company. I do really well in the maps ranking inner pages. You do really well in the maps ranking inner pages. Huh. Not sure I understand that. Unless you've got different maps locations, so the landing pages are different. I'm not sure what you mean. There is obviously no topical niche in Majestic for that. What would be the topical niche you would go for? Brian, that's a good one. I'd have to look through the actual Majestic topics again, but I would say probably business, construction, and maintenance would be one of them. That's one of the big ones that I use a lot of. Go ahead. Or not?
No, I was thinking about the same. Yeah, I was thinking about the exact same thing, business, construction, and those kind of things. Because, yeah, there's nothing that specific, to that particular niche.
Yeah.
I think that's the best bet.
Yeah, you can also use, depending on where you are, Brian, I'm just going to assume you're in the U.S. That's probably kind of dumb for me to assume that. But I also will go after, I've been recently picking up domains that are regional / North America, because at least those are coming from, the North American continent, so they're in the right neighborhood, and it's pretty much kind of like a general catch-all. Like they have there's a regional topic, is what I'm saying, and then they have subtopics with different areas around the globe. So I'm using region North America / North America quite a bit when I'm finding it difficult to find domains that have the more specific topical category that I'm looking for. Then I'll go with just the regional North America. Obviously, I'm linking to U.S. sites though. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But I found that to be a pretty good category for just like catch-all domains, using just geographically related domains. Also, Brian, what I would do is, something else I would do is if you have access to Blue Chip Backlinks, which if you don't, you should. Adam, you can drop the link to that. But, I mean, Blue Chip Backlinks is freaking fabulous. In fact, Terry Cow just sent out another email today about some cool stuff that they're doing. But anyways, what I would do is also go search for other, pest removal companies, pest control companies, and they don't even have to. You can rank. What you could do is crawl the domains of your competitors, and also do a backlink analysis on your competitors' properties, your competitors' sites. Use just like Majestic or Ahrefs, whatever you have, and then download the backlinks report, and then go crawl the domains that are linking to your competitors. and try to find available domains for purchase. So that's number one. Number two, you can do that for any pest control company and anywhere in the country, for that matter. And because you'll at least find some good link sources that are linking to pest control companies. So it's going to take a little bit of work on your part to sort through the backlink profiles when you download backlink profiles from your competitors. And you want to get rid of, I mean, when you sort, you can very quickly, it's a CSV file, right? So it's an Excel file you'll download. When you open it up, you can sort out the stuff that you know is like too general or whatever. But what you'll find is oftentimes you'll find some pretty cool sites that you can grab expired domains from that we're linking, that are topically relevant or have good metrics, that sort of thing. So it takes a little bit of work, but what's really good about it, guys, is once you've gone through and found a good list to crawl, and you start crawling these things. I mean, within Blue Chip Backlinks, you can schedule like 20 projects at a time or something like that, and just let it go. And you can come back 3 days later and check the results, and you could literally end up with dozens and dozens of domains that you could purchase for good backlinks that are topically relevant or geographically relevant, or sometimes even both, which is like pure gold. Okay. Carlos says, hello gang, I noticed someone talking about the Google Map Pack pointers to show up in a more than one location in your area. Any information on that? Does it work? Yeah, we've talked about this in the mastermind a few times. Let's go see what this thing is. But you're talking about, okay, I'll have to read through this a little bit, but it looks like customizing a map marker. What is this? Not sure. I'd have to look through this a little bit more, Carlos, and we're running out of time, so I can't really go through this right now. However, I know that you, like, for example, I don't know if Marco will let me say this. I'll be very, very general. If you go to Google My Maps, you can create maps with multiple pins and use those to link to your Google My Business page that will help you to rank in those other areas. And I can't get into specifics because if you want to learn exactly how to do it the correct way, you have to join RYS Academy. That's the only place you're going to get that information. But I can give you a little teaser, and you guys can go try to figure it out on your own, by the way. Marco, was that acceptable?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be in trouble later. Okay, bought Twitter SEO Academy sometime back. Is that still viable? IFTTT recipes and tutorials still work, etc. Mike, it's been updated. I know Gary, Dr. Gary puts in different recipes and different methods, and I know he's been updating it. So yeah, it's still viable, as far as I know, right, Marco?
Twitter SEO Academy, it was updated about a month ago. He went through the recipes. He did a whole bunch of different things for it. So yes, it's still very viable because it builds up the topical trust flow in the Twitter, and then what you can do is use RYS methods to push that to other properties.
The other thing was we just did the webinar for the RYS update webinar last week, and Gary shared a bunch of stuff about Twitter. Was that also added to the Twitter SEO Academy? I know because that was an update for RYS, but
he said that he was going to add it. I am not sure if he has gotten around to it yet, but it should be part of it.
I'm going to assume that it is then, if he said he was going to do it. So, okay, couldn't hear Marco just then on Facebook. Okay, so guys are only hearing me on Facebook so far. All right, that's fine. I've just got to, guys, this is our first time attempting it with OBS, so I've just got to figure out how to use a virtual audio cable to pipe the computer's audio into the broadcast output. So I'll figure that out, guys. This is some geeky shit. I'll take care of it before next broadcast. We're baby stepping now. We're baby stepping. This is pretty cool. DC Glenn signed up for Mastermind. Sweet. We've got a celebrity in our midst, guys.
Oh yeah.
That's freaking fabulous. That's freaking great, man. Well, looking forward to having you in the group. If you haven't posted yet, please do, and we'll give you a warm welcome. Okay. Let's see, page speed. I did these video for the LCT guys. Yeah, Clint Butler is going to be the page speed expert here, guys. So disregard my old videos and just do whatever Clint says. Seriously, because my videos are old, and I bet you Clint's method's better anyways. So.
Yeah, I can. Sorry, Brad, but I can vouch for Clint. He helped me.
Yep.
And Haynes in a couple of websites, and I know he knows his stuff,
he
so
knows
you can
his
contact him. Yeah, he knows. Yep.
Do we have a affiliate link for RapidRanker? We do. Adam, I don't know if you dropped it, but we had one. I think we do have one on the spreadsheet somewhere.
Yeah, it's already on there.
Okay, cool. 25 web. I'm back at it and dead into it. That's sweet, Mike. I have my browser window too narrow. That's why it was truncated. No, it's just because I'm zoomed in. That's probably why. I didn't even realize it would do that. So it cuts your questions off if you zoom in. That seems stupid, but okay. I mean, I believe you, Kendrick. I just think it's silly. Greg, is Blue Chip any better than Lazarus Crawler, which I currently use? Yes, Greg. Hands down, it's better. There's no question. In my opinion, anyways. We used to use Lazarus Crawler, and besides having to have, pay for dedicated servers, and we had to have that thing running all the time, and we had to go sort through everything. And I had a VA that did it. Well, it wasn't even a VA. It was Dedia. He's our link building manager, so he was doing all that. But I use Blue Chip backlinks myself, which is great because I don't have to, send instructions to anybody. It's $97 a month. I think it's still I think it's that much, and it's totally worth it. And again, I was able to not have to worry about running it on a dedicated server and all that, and pay a VA and all that other kind of stuff. So it's actually more economical, in my opinion. And it's got like so many other tools inside of it that Lazarus Project just doesn't have. I mean, again, guys, Lazarus Crawler was a good crawler before Blue Chip Backlinks, in my opinion, but I think Blue Chip Backlinks is hands down a superior tool. Okay, well, looks like we're done. We were out of questions, and we were out of time anyways, so that was good timing.
Awesome time for masterclass.
Yep, almost time for masterclass. So, all right.
Quit drinking, Hernan.
Our attempt at Facebook Live was better this time than last time, but it's still not right. We'll get it right next week, guys. I think.
Practice makes perfect.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, everybody, thanks for being here. We will see you all in masterclass in a few moments. Mastermind we have tomorrow as well, and if you're not in either of those, well, join it. And if not, we'll see you next week. So,
bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.